I want to go to Yashovardhan Azad first. We had Nidhi, Anjali's friend, giving us an interview yesterday. It was a big exclusive. Now there are many questions about what Nidhi is claiming. First, she says Anjali is hopelessly drunk at the time of the accident. She's trying to bang into a car because for some reason she wants to kill herself. So Nidhi is trying to present the picture of somebody who was disturbed. The family says Nidhi is just doing all of this possibly at the instance of the police, because the police are under fire. So they're doing this as part of some kind of character assassination to try and take the blame away from the police. They claim it is some kind of pre-planned murder when Anjali is actually being tortured by somebody who has some sadistic pleasure in mind or some sadistic pain that they want to inflict upon Nidhi. Now, as somebody who's tracking the story, I'm thoroughly confused. Who do I believe? Why? What appears to be reasonable to you? What is it that appears highly suspicious? Yashovardhan Azad.
Well, I'm really surprised about one thing, which is that Nidhi had clearly given a statement, and it was a very graphic detail which she described in the beginning, saying that she fell on one side after the impact of the accident, and Anjali fell on the other side and her leg got stuck with the axle or the front wheel, and there she was screaming for help. It sounded credible because that's exactly the kind of thing which we have seen on the CCTV, and that's how it has played out. So the second statement which she makes and says that, 1 hour before she was at home, I don't know whether there was something wrong with that stamping of the timing or whatever. Now the question is, the issue here is not whether Anjali is drunk or not drunk and then she wants to go headlong into it. That's not fair. I think that's a fairly very negative, and I didn't expect it from a friend. In fact, she was the first one who should have reported whatever she had seen and if she was disturbed about anything. My second point is that once we are talking about the credibility of the witness, after all, two things have been established very, very clearly. The forensics have clearly established, and their report is, of course, coming, about the blood trails, about the samples which clearly show that this is the victim sample and it is linked with the car, and the way those 5 people ran away. And so the actual substantive part of the evidence has been established. Now the question is the motive of this witness, why she's lending so much of incredulous statements to attribute it to herself. I'm not aware of it. This will come only after investigation. But there is one point which I'd like to mention, Rahul, and that is very, very critical for the prosecution. You see, there are two parts of this horrific incident. First is the accident part, the impact which brought her under the car. So, it was accident. After that, when she was being dragged, the accused knew very well that the victim is alive, is being dragged under the car, and yet they went on for the next 30 or 40 minutes. What does that constitute? Does that constitute a culpable homicide not amounting to murder, or murder itself? So I think these are things, fresh charges will be added later. But I think the most disturbing part about this incident is this, that they continued knowing that this will kill the woman.